Starting and running a business is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're an established business owner or thinking about starting a side hustle to earn extra income, I am here to teach you how to show up as your unfiltered self, level up your business, and thrive as a mompreneur. Let's embrace the chaos and start enjoying the journey together. I'm Amy Traw, and you're listening to the Motivated Mompreneur Podcast. Holy cow, everyone. This is absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that I have a podcast. This whole thing is so completely surreal, and I am truly honored to have you listening today. I would have never thought life would let me here. If you would have told me this, I literally would have looked at you like you were absolutely crazy. So here we go, episode 1. This is the Motivated Mompreneur Podcast. So, a little bit about me. My name is Amy Traw. I live in Northeast Ohio, and I have been a mompreneur for 2 years. So, the Cliff Notes version of my story starts back in 2006. I graduated from college, and I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I worked in healthcare. I thought I had found my passion. I thought I knew what I wanted to do. And then 2020 happened. Just like all of you know, I mean, we all had a crazy pivot in 2020. Suddenly, I was thrust into a decision where, okay, I work 40 hours a week. My kids were 4 and 6 at the time. I was like, okay, schools are shut down. What am I going to do? There's no way that I can be a homeschooling mom and be working 40 hours a week. It's just, I can't do it. So thank goodness they were asking for volunteers to furlough at my job. So I'm like, you know what? I got to do this for my family. I don't know if this is the right decision that I'm making, but it's what I have to do right now. So I took the leap and I took the furlough, and it was the biggest blessing of my life. I did it scared, but I'm so eternally thankful that I did, because it was truly life-changing. So once we made it through all the chaos of finishing out the school year, I had some time to reflect on life and how we take everything for granted. You know, we always take our health for granted. We take our loved ones for granted. So what I did was I dug deep, and I had always talked about starting a home organizing business, but with 2 little kids, with working at 40 hours, I didn't have time for that. Suddenly I had time. I'm like, okay, I need a backup in case I don't get called back to work. I need a backup. What am I going to do? So back in 2020, June of 2020, I got my LLC for my professional organizing business called Simplify Me by AT. So it was an amazing opportunity and such an exciting time in my life. I had always thought about it, but I never had the time or the energy to do it. But it was funny, because once I started this business, I kind of was faced with the same feeling that I had when I graduated college. One of those, what the heck am I doing now type of moments. I think when you hit a major milestone like that, you realize how much you still need to learn. In all honesty, I knew what I was doing with organizing. That came easy to me. I absolutely loved it. But in terms of the business side of things, the back end, the KPIs, SEO, analytics, invoicing, marketing, I had no clue what any of that was. How do I even let the world know that I exist? I offer this amazing service, but how do I tell people that I'm out here? So prior to June of 2020, I wasn't on social media. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have any of those things. And I was totally clueless about organic reach and what an influencer was and this, that, and the other. So I took action and I learned. I watched hours of webinars, listened to every podcast about business, and read and talked to mentors and friends. But at the end of the day, one thing was always missing. I still felt so overwhelmed by all of it. I was frustrated that I couldn't get my name out there, and comparison mode hit me big time. I felt like I was lacking a group of women, a group of people who truly understood the juggle of being a mom and being a business owner, especially a solopreneur. One book that I read, it was called Built to Belong by Natalie Frank. It kind of gave me that aha light bulb moment. The missing thing was that sense of community. Those people that understood exactly what I was going through. At the heart of her book, the core message is community over competition. And I know it's very commonly used. It can be almost cliche in a way, but it is so true. Getting away from that scarcity mindset, empowering each other, that truly makes a difference. So I took action. I started my own Facebook group in November of 21 as a way for local mama business owners to connect. And the growth has been absolutely phenomenal. We have masterminds. We have the free Facebook group. We have a membership. There's a business directory, events. The list goes on. And this is all absolutely fabulous. It's life-changing. But in May, I hit a roadblock. So still running my organizing business, and the moms group is growing. I felt so conflicted. There's only so much time and energy in any given day. And I had grown my organizing business to exactly where I wanted it to be. I was getting that steady income. I loved the work. But at the end of the day, educating and empowering moms was what I loved most about my business. So I dug deep. I cried a lot. And I decided that business needed to be moved to the back burner. I needed to trust my gut and focus on where my passion truly was, and that's in this group. Immediately, once I finally made that decision, a weight was lifted. It has been a game changer. Back last winter, I was working with a life coach, and she actually called me out, and I appreciate this. And this is still one of the most powerful things that we talked about. She told me, she's like, listen, not making a decision about what you're doing right now, what your passion truly is, that is making a decision. So for me, it was that aha moment that I needed. I needed to be called out on that. I never want another mom to feel as lost, frustrated, and overwhelmed and lonely like I did. So, at the end of the day, am I a world-renowned expert on business? No. Do I have a fancy marketing or business degree? No. Do I have a ton to learn? Absolutely. Do I want to share my strengths with others and what I have learned? Yes. So here's the thing. I know deep down I have finally found my calling, and I have learned so much. I want to share the skills and tactics I've learned and implemented to help you grow, to welcome you into a community where others share their strengths, to empower you when you're ready to throw in the towel and walk away from your business because imposter syndrome and comparison mode have kicked in and paralyzed you with fear. In full disclosure, this whole experience is completely surreal and so far outside of my comfort zone. But I'm doing things scared. I am taking action because I feel called to do this so that no woman ever feels like I did and alone in the journey. In all honesty, since walking away from my primary business, my income right now has tanked. We have all had to sacrifice just like everyone else, but I'm not giving up. I am staying true to my gut, and deep down, I know this is my purpose. And I am so eternally thankful for the support of my mission. So what in the world am I going to talk about on this podcast? I have a podcast now. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that. I am done sugarcoating the journey. I still get caught up in comparison mode because the highlight reels we see on social media with everyone else crushing it, I compare myself. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But that's part of the journey. So we're going to talk about these topics and so much more. Strategies to grow your business, get seen locally, marketing, mindset, mom life, inspiration, motivation, solo episodes, guest speakers. I want your input on what you would like to hear. So it was funny when I was chatting with someone about the podcast when I first decided I was going to start that. Someone asked me, well, there are a million podcasts like yours out there. Who the heck is going to listen? And why would you put any of this time and energy into something like this? And it goes back to that comparison mode. We are constantly comparing our chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. But to me, that's a benefit. Having the ability to start small, to practice knowing that my audience isn't huge is a huge benefit to me. It's almost like an actor stepping out onto Broadway for their first performance without ever having been in a production prior, or an athlete stepping onto a professional playing field, never having played a game. It's not reality. We all start small. We all have to start at square one. No matter how successful we become, every single one of those actors, athletes, motivational speakers, everyone you see out there crushing it, they were just like you and I. If they can do it, why can't we? So I know that I can practice, I can learn, I can grow, and I know I'm going to have people judge me, and that's okay. It's just preparing me for down the road when I have even more eyes on me. So here we go. I am starting this podcast at ground zero with a ton of fear sprinkled with doubt. But if I can help you grow by teaching you what I've learned, to have those real conversations, to expose those real struggles, and to motivate you to start taking action, then it's all worth it. I am taking action because I feel like I have something to contribute to the conversation. Is it going to be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Heck yeah. So thank you, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, for welcoming me into your day. As I leave you today, I have 2 asks. Number 1, tell your friends. Just let them know I exist. If you know a mom that feels like this, like I do, like you do, tell your friends. You can find me on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And number 2, just hit subscribe. That way, when I pump out a new episode, I'm hoping to do this each week, you get notified. Always know I am right here beside you on this crazy journey of life. So watch out, world. This mom is on a mission. Welcome to the Motivated Mompreneur Podcast.